this, I'm joined by Dr. Jamal Nazzal, spokesperson for Fatah. Jamal, it's great to have you on the show again. Thank you so much for joining me. The US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has told CNN that a ceasefire hostage deal for Gaza is currently on the table with a pathway to end the war, and urged Hamas to accept this deal. Does your party have any communication with the political wing of Hamas, and have you discussed the ceasefire deal that is currently on the table?
Well, Hamas doesn't consult with any other factions on what it is doing with the hostage issue. It should be doing this, especially with Fatah, especially with the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO, the sole representative of the Palestinian people. Instead of this, Hamas is doing it all alone, achieving hardly any results. But there are no political talks now between Fatah and Hamas, because Hamas still rejects the idea of the two-state solution. It doesn't recognize the PLO as a as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, and it doesn't recognize the agreement signed between us and other world states. So that's why the dialogue between us and Hamas is going nowhere at this moment.
The current crisis has reawakened long-standing divisions between Palestinian factions. Is Fatah working towards any form of reconciliation with Hamas, or has this conflict widened the divide more than ever?
The roadmap to a reconciliation leads us to certain steps that have to be taken, especially by Hamas. First of all, it has to understand and recognize international legitimacy, the terms of reference for any peacemaking with Israel. It has to respect the agreements signed between the PLO and other governments of the world. It has to recognize the idea of the Palestinian state. So far, Hamas has used many tongues speaking about its objectives. So I'm not very optimistic on reaching a common ground with Hamas, because we do not share the same goals. We want, as a Fatah, we want an independent Palestinian state, and that is not the objective of Hamas. Nobody understands what Hamas is after, actually. So we are facing difficulties on this until now.
And we have seen some controversy surrounding the US-backed Gaza aid distribution today. Some argue this is a humanitarian effort. Others call it a distraction from deeper political failures. Now, where exactly does Fatah stand on this?
Well, unfortunately, we saw that Israel practically has dismantled the UNRWA. That was a mechanism, a worldwide recognized organization that has the legitimacy, the experience, and the staff. Israel destroyed it, and it's taken many decisions to bar it from working, and it has replaced it by this kind of strange mechanism that nobody understands. This is a tool to weaponize food in Gaza. It's a means that Israel is using to control the movement of people, and it will lead eventually to the displacement, to further displacement of the Palestinian people in Gaza. That is why we reject this. Also, as a Palestinian Authority, the Palestinian government is ready to do what it can do in order for itself to distribute the humanitarian aid. But Israel so far is not cooperating and wouldn't allow the Palestinian government to help its own people in Gaza. That's a cruel system, a cruel mindset that Israel has.
How is Israel stopping you from helping your own people?
Well, it wouldn't allow the Palestinian Authority to work in Gaza. It's very simple. They wouldn't allow the Palestinian government to help our people. They wouldn't allow the Palestinian government to transfer money to Gaza, to the employees of the public sector of the Palestinian government. Israel is taking the taxpayer money that should be transferred to the Palestinian government. Everything that the Palestinian government would pay to make things function in Gaza is held in Israel, and that is why the Palestinian government is hardly able to pay the salaries of its employees even in the West Bank. So Israel has the control on the ground, and it misuses it a lot.
According to reports, Israel is threatening to annex the West Bank if the UK and France recognize Palestine. How concerning are these reports?
They are concerning. We have seen Israel is capable of defying international law, of defying the will of the international community. But we also believe that Western countries do have the leverage to get Israel to do what they wanted to do, and they can get Israel to do what the international law requires from Israel. We have seen a change in tone and language, but we want the complicity of the Western world to end by finally doing something, because doing nothing is complicity, and that has to end. So we believe that European countries have a very, very, very large leverage over Israel. They can get Israel to do what it has to do.
You say you want Western countries to do something. What do you want Western countries to do? And as you mentioned, you feel like right now nothing's being done.
Well, they have this preferential trade agreement with Israel, cooperation agreement, which is 25 years old. Article 2 of this agreement requires Israel to respect human rights. It is being reviewed. But it was reviewed by the European countries last year, and they concluded that Israel is in violation of human rights in Palestine. They did nothing. It is time to do something. It is not enough to suspend the agreement. It should be cancelled entirely. Also, punishing Israel isn't limited only to to placing sanctions against Israel. Also, the Europeans can delegitimize what Israel is doing. It's not enough for the Europeans to distance themselves verbally from what Israel is doing. They can clearly say that they are committed to the decision of the ICJ and the ICC. They should state clearly that they would be able to arrest any individual who is wanted by the International Criminal Court in The Hague. So on the level of delegitimizing what Israel is doing, they can do a lot.
And there are concerns Israel may aim to create a security buffer in Gaza long term. Do you view this as a form of de facto annexation?
Everything Israel is doing has the footprint of a new colonial project. Israel wants to colonize Gaza. And that requires for Israel to destroy everything and everybody in Gaza. If Israel is allowed to carry on with its plan, it would kill everybody. Were it not for the international pressure on Israel, we would see even more horrific scenes than we have seen. And what we have seen so far could be the start of what Israel wants to do, because Israeli politicians have a genocidal language. They use a genocidal language. They have a criminal mindset. Everybody is watching this, and the Western world has the responsibility to stop them. They can. The buffer zone is a means of Israel to control more land, trying to evict Palestinians and killing them, making them starve to death. People are looking for food in the rubbish. So what we're seeing is very dangerous. I think it's a new law of humanity that we are seeing in Gaza now.
Dr. Jamal Nazzal, spokesperson for Fatah, thank you for joining me on the show again. Appreciate your thoughts and insights.
Thank you.